Welcome to another episode of Truth Mafia News. Today we're going to be talking about the pineal gland and how they're using fluoride to calcify the pineal gland. I got some special guests with me today, but before we get going, all the links are down in the description of this video. Some special guests with me today, but before we get going, all the links are down in. What's going on with that? Hold on, guys. Something happened. All right. Did that get rid of it? Sorry about that, guys. I must have had something on in the background. All right. So I'm here with my father today and my brother Donut. What's up, guys?
What up?
Hey, son.
How you guys doing? I left the Facebook or the YouTube open and it was playing as I was going. Sorry about that.
It's okay.
So how are you guys doing today? I wanted to talk about the pineal gland, the third eye. And, I went down a rabbit hole on this whole pineal gland and what they're spraying us with the borium and aluminum. You see the CDC's logo. It kind of makes sense after you really look at it now with the chemtrails. But, this third eye that they're calcifying using the fluoride, which they originally used in these gulags to pacify the prisoners. So now it's in our toothpaste. It's in our water. It's in a lot of things you drink. And it calcifies your third eye, your pineal gland. And what I want to show you here is the awakened avatar is represented by the pine cone, right? The open pine cone. Then you have the sleeping human, which is the closed pine cone. And check this out. Pineal gland open equals 64, matching first player character. And then pineal gland sleep is 63, matching non-player character. Because when your pineal gland is asleep, you don't have eyes to see, right? So, Brother Donut, I know before we got going, you was talking about interviewing a dude before on this subject. So what do you know about the pineal gland, brother?
Oh, well, thank you for having me on. I'm so grateful to be with both of you. The pineal gland, what I know, it's that third eye. There's a lot of symbolism to it, and it gets calcified through the fluoride that you were talking about in these gulags that pacify people. And it's no good. It's no good. I heard it's connected to spirituality. And you know what? There's ways out of the stuff, I'm pretty sure praying, meditating, living a spiritual life will heal it. We were talking before this about the energy body, like around us, the plasma that's around us. It could be its own soul, according to some doctors that I've researched. So there's a lot of healing that can go on, even though it seems crazy, but yeah.
Yeah, but you are right. They do believe that the soul could be in the pineal gland, and then here's a representation of the pineal gland with the fluoride on it, the calcified pineal gland. It's not working right. That's your spiritual antenna. That's really your how would you express it? Like your inner Christos. That's the inner Christ, that Christ consciousness, which is connected to your pineal gland. And once they use the fluoride to calcify it, well, it cuts you off from source and that spiritual connection. And we've seen this symbol all throughout society, right? And it's also tied to frequencies, like 528 hertz. It represents that crown chakra. And that goes into the flower of life. Back in the ancient times, Mesopotamia and Sumerian times, they had a representation of this thing called a soul stone. And it looks like you see right there in the bottom left-hand corner where he's holding a pine cone in his hand. Now, this soul stone was supposed to, as far as legend goes, was supposed to be able to transfer one's consciousness to another host. So through frequencies, we have found out that we can raise the vibration or lower the vibration. You know, and Dad, we were talking about that healing music that you have now. What's the name of that website, bro?
Healingfrequencymusic.com. And
Yeah.
when you're ready for me to talk about this, I work on this all the time, the pineal gland. And I know exactly what it is as far as what it does to the connection to the divine creator of all things, the point of origin, nothing above it, everything within it. And it's pretty. I'm going to come online. Hey, brothers and sisters, love you all. It's really interesting how they're not only fluoride in the water, fluoride in the toothpaste, what they're spraying in the air, what they're putting in the food system. All of that is to calcify the pineal gland so that it dulls and almost eliminates your connection to the divine father, right? The creator of all. And also the soul, from what I hear from different shamans and lamas and priests and all that, sits really in your back by where your belly, you know where your belly button is, where your umbilical cord came in, but it connects right into the pineal gland. And there's another gland in there that they want to keep calcified so that the connection's not there. Good thing about it, I'm not going to show it yet, but this little thing right here helps to calcify it, by the way. Not only does it help to calcify it, I showed an image last time, I'm going to look for it again, where it actually helps strengthen the energy body, because all problems that exist in the biological physical matter body happen to come from the energy body. And you know, TJ, I'm one of the owners of an energy wellness company. You know that. You work with me on that. And you know, I've been researching this stuff for decades. But Brother Donut said something that is so true also. You know, every morning, and you know, when people tell me I don't have time, that's an excuse. Set your clock to wake you up early, because this is something that you have to make time for. You have to make time to spend time with the divine creator, to do your prayers, to do your meditations, you know, to do your Tai Chi Gong or your whatever you're doing, Tai Chi. You got to breathe through your nose, pumping your stomach, hold it in for a few seconds, breathe out through your mouth, you know, put your hand on your chest and on your stomach, close your eyes, clear your mind and breathe in and out for, you know, 5-10 minutes. Make sure that you're doing that. Open up all your energy portals. And that also helps decalcify your pineal gland. It does. It helps decalcify it. I'm also using this stuff, but from what I'm understanding, you can see pineal clear. But what I'm understanding is the other stuff that I held up literally works on that tremendously. It also, you know, if you, this stuff right here that we talked about last week, and where you now, by the way, folks, my business partner in Sovereign Radio came to me about this funnel that he needed for that product. And we've got a whole big network of Patriot influencers. And so he wanted to bring that out to them based on what it did for his neuropathy. And that's all I'm going to say, because we know that the big pharma wants to shut everything down that's good for us, right? They want our pineal gland calcified. They want us sick. And you know, go into their place so they can charge us $10,000 for a freaking 2.5-hour hospital visit, which, by the way, now is down to $6,000, but in the Dominican Republic would have been $200. Well, $200. But yeah, it's, you know, I would love to be able, you know, to show folks where we can show them how to do some exercises too in the future to help, you know, get that decalcification off the pineal gland.
Yeah, I think that would be a good idea, and definitely that the Nanosoma stuff, I'm just going to tell you that has helped me tremendously. I was telling Donut about it last night. We got to send him some of it, Pops.
Yeah, we'll do that. We want him to have an experience. We have a lot of influencers coming on. Brother Donut will get you set up with that.
Thank
But what
you.
I say to everybody, make sure that, if you're going to get that you use TJ's, and I call my son TJ, his link, to help, continue to fund the show and help to continue to take care of team members that we have to pay, all of that. If the product is good for the people and the planet and we use it and we have an experience with it, a real experience that we're sharing with you, that's because we know a lot of people have big problems. What happened in 2020, where now all of a sudden all these deaths went up 500%, 600%, 700%. I can't say the name, because this is Facebook, so we got to
Code
be
Red.
careful.
Yeah, they know
Code
what that
Red,
means.
is that what Code Red? And now all of these autopsies coming out, or they're pulling out these giant freaking blood clots out of the brain, out of everywhere. Well, this assists with that. So this
Pops. Dude, they just pulled one out of this person in Australia. And Donut, was I talking to you about that last night? I told you it looked like an octopus.
Yeah, I thought that's what you were talking about.
Yeah, it looks like a real octopus, bro. And then they nicknamed the new variant the Kraken. And where was the first location it hit out of Wuhan, China? Well, Seattle, Washington, and their team is the Kraken. So there is this whole Kraken connection to it, and I think that has to do with the alien part of it. But
the octopus is.
Yeah, the alien connection. Because remember, in Prometheus, they had that entity that looked very much like an octopus or a kraken that went inside of the mouth of the engineer and then birthed out that entity that later was on Aliens. What was it called? I can't remember the name. I wish Paranoid American was here because he always remembers that damn thing's name. But xenomorph is what it's called. And there must be an entity like that because they show us that same entity on Stranger Things. It's kind of looks like that Demigorgon. The xenomorph and the Demigorgon are very similar. But Dad, they have some holistical ways too of decalcifying the pineal gland. I believe with that product we have mixed with some of these natural things, you can definitely.
You could use just that product that you used for your leg that did that. I think you showed it.
Yeah.
Show that picture again real quick and then come back here, son. I mean, I got a text from you after I sent that to you, that package that you have right there. And you told me after 3 days that you seen from what it was before to what it was in 3 days. And then after that, it got much better. And we got to be careful. We can't say everything because, we just unfortunately can't say all these things that you've been experienced. But I got to tell you, I work on these guys' emails on a weekly basis. The freaking testimonials coming in for people. And by the way, pets, dogs and cats and horses and stuff is just amazing. It's amazing. I got this too, Donut and son, this Hydropod.
What is that?
This actually takes I got it on Amazon. They got some of them that are $50. You know me, I wanted to get one that was a little bit better. And it cost me a couple $100, but there's ones in there for $65. Maybe they don't have the strength of this. But what you do is you put the water in here and it hydrogenates the water and alkalines the water. Yeah, within here. So I'm working. I mean, I got to tell you, I got 1, 2, 3. I'm working very, 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 very seriously on completely decalcifying my pineal gland and getting my connection, to the creator as strong as possible. And I would suggest that everybody that's watching this now and in the future do the same thing because we are splitting timelines here. I don't know time, dates, or anything like that, but we're going to have heaven on earth. This is my right hand, heaven on earth and hell on earth. 3D earth will eventually be gone. And anyone who's vibrating in 3D will then die based on all that horrible stuff that you read in scriptures from all different types of religions, and then we'll come back on another 3D planet. But Earth is ascending, and we can all see that. Can't you feel that, Donut? Do you feel the energy? Do you see, like, it is happening? Earth is ascending. I don't know how long the process is going to be, but it's definitely in play.
Well, I wanted Donut to tell you about his experience too when he went down to Mexico and the difference between the environment down there and up here. Sorry, Donut, go ahead.
Oh yeah, yeah. Just the last 2 weeks I've been working on my health, so I cut out all bad food because I was getting anxiety, and I cut out all the sugar, all the carbs. I've been eating really healthy. I mean, salads and all that. And my anxiety is gone now. So I'm like, oh, wow. So it's cool that y'all talking about health, because that's something that I've neglected. I've been focused more on just the spiritual aspect in the last 9 years, and waking up first thing in the morning, which I forget all the time to do, but to have that time to pray, to do my spiritual stuff like that.
Brother Donut, I'm going to become your coach with all these other brothers and sisters, and you got to make the time, my man. And all these brothers and sisters, you got to make that time, man. Get up earlier. You can do it. Just put your mind to it and do it. Just don't, because that will be the most productive time that you spend all day long, getting your shield up, getting your energy high, so you can take on the world with all the stuff that you're bringing to the folks.
Right. And all the distractions too. Like, I can't even go on like Twitter because that's just too crazy for me. But I still do though. I catch myself because I'm addicted to it, because these social media companies, Facebook, Twitter is probably the most massive one right now, get you hooked with the studies they did on rats, on giving us bad news, good news, bad news, likes, and all that. Even as a YouTube creator, and Tommy and Papa Truthful, y'all probably noticed this, that sometimes they'll let a video get a lot of views and sometimes they won't, because this is how you get addicted to the social media platforms. And when I wake up, like, it's what I want to do. The first thing I want to do is like go on to see what's going on. But to take that time is so important.
Well, you go into the throne room. We all go into our throne room when we wake up in the morning. Most of us, anyways, right?
Yeah, you should not use your phone on there, though. I found out it's not a good thing.
No, the throne room is the bathroom. So most of us are all in the bathroom. We take our cell phone and then we start going thump, 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 thump. Remember, all of this was built by DOD, by DARPA and all of them. They created this whole social media stuff to exactly dumb down the population even more so, get them all distracted and involved in these activities that really don't bring you anything to move you forward, right? You're sitting there, you're staring, and you're going like this, and you're like, oh, and there's all kinds of pictures on there, people half naked. It's just ridiculous.
It produces dopamine, though, Dad, and serotonin. So when you're getting likes and shares, that produces dopamine. So you're actually becoming physically addictive to it as well.
Right, and that's what it was built to do. That's what it's built to do. On next week, on the 2nd or 3rd, I'm on a meeting with the alternative to the internet, and I will be bringing this through the Truth Mafia News podcast. And you got to join us when this happens. Things are happening. Alternative things are being built, and again, this split is happening. I've been talking about this great divide of that's happening. I've been talking about it for years now. Online, you can go to the Patriot Llama shows. You can see me talking about this. I talk about it constantly. That this separation is happening, and I, again, don't have a timeline. No one knows the times and dates. There's people that try to get dates and times right. Sometimes they might get lucky. Sometimes they don't. Most times they don't. But it's happening, and just you have to work on. Donut, you were talking about how you now want to take care of yourself. It's interesting. You were in Mexico. You experienced better food and all of that. I have a house in Dominican Republic, which I'll probably be back in August. I'm a little concerned, let's say, because I trust the heavenly divine to protect my family and me and my friends and all of you. I pray for everybody, but to protect the children of the light, to protect his sons and daughters. But, you know, I go to Dominican Republic, I eat chicken, I eat bananas, I eat, you know, the fruit, me and my wife, we eat. Man, it's so good. I actually don't do any more activity and I'm dropping weight.
Is
I'm
the
dropping
chicken
weight.
taste different than chicken up here?
Chicken tastes different. It's not as big. They're smaller. Bananas are smaller. They melt in your mouth. They're delicious. You come here, we got organic bananas. I can bend them. I can bend these organic bananas. So organic isn't organic. The United States has the worst food supply
Oh, I believe it.
on the planet. This food that we have, the majority of the food that we have in the United States that we're serving to the people, that our government, the FDA, allows them to serve to us, these other countries won't take it. They won't allow it.
No, I know.
They won't allow it.
Dude,
And
even
what-
like these vape things that I smoke, they're nicotine alternatives. So, you know, I went down from smoking like a pack and a half of cigarettes a day to a couple, and I hit my vape thing. But dude, I was telling Donut, I was like, bro, these things are made at building 201 in China, and 201 is a big number. You know, the pandemic simulation event 201. And I was like, bro, I don't trust this, because on the box it says only can be sold in the United States. You can't sell it nowhere else. But it's produced over in China, so that don't even make sense. Why can it be only sold here but not to their own people? Well, there must be something in it they don't want their people getting, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, I got to tell you something too, is that we will be finishing some things up by the 4th of July weekend. We talked about this, my son and I, on a show before. We are going to have a community that you can enter into for free, a club in the community. And we're going to have a prayer circle where everybody's going to be able to put whatever's going on. And all I ask everybody is go in there every day and pray for someone. Pray for someone, send them your love, send them your light, that they're having a rough time. And let's build this community. You know, we'll have community gardens where you folks can talk to each other and start planting community gardens. We got to go back to growing our own food, folks. I mean, whoever agrees about going back and growing our own food, you know, so we're self-sufficient, you know, put it in the comments. I think we have to do it, and we got to do it quickly, because if they turn the food supply off and we're just in this just-in-time environment, that's not good, okay? We are depending upon China, like you said, son. You know, all the prescription drugs can stay in China. You know, we don't even need them, right? But so many things that we do need are in China. I mean, we should be self-sufficient. We should have self-sufficient communities. And this is one thing that we will be talking about in the future. And Donuts, is another reason I want to talk to your brother Christopher, is that we're going to be putting together self-sustaining communities all around the world in countries like the DR that don't serve you garbage on a plate to try to take you out, because they actually love their people and they don't want to poison their people to death. Even, you know, the what you call pharmacies there, the prescription drugs in America, the pricing and then the quality compared to someone like at the Dominican Republic is just,
well,
there's no comparison.
My buddy lives down in Mexico, and he said you could walk into like the pharmacies and buy any type of pill you need, stuff that's illegal here, or narcotics, and they don't have a pill problem like we do. And
no, because it's not as made like ours are. Do you know what I mean? They're different. There's a lot of natural stuff in the pharmacy too, where they're using like what you were showing, you know, the thing you were showing with the pineal gland, the natural stuff. I know you're going to show the folks that again. They have a lot of that kind of stuff. I've got a pain pill that is 100% natural, and it's got a bunch of vitamin B in it. And when you take this stuff, I don't care if you got a neck pain, a arm pain, a hip pain, a toe pain, whatever. This stuff works, man. And it's not pharmaceutical. It's all freaking natural. 100%.
When you were talking about the prayer, it's super important. What I learned is praying for the people that you're resentful at. And it's easy to get resentful being a commentator, I guess, on
Yes.
the internet, because you're going to get haters if you get views. And then I just I get mad, but then I start praying for their happiness and health, even if I don't mean it. Within 2 weeks, the
Yeah, I love you, man.
yeah,
You're
I'll
funny.
say I pray for this, D bag, whatever, and but then I'll actually mean it, like within a week or 2 weeks, and then I'm not even mad at them, and then they'll pop up, and I'm not even mad at them. I'll feel bad, and like I really want them to be happy, but then it creeps up again, and it's interesting because there's a direct correlation, like you were saying, with the back near the stomach, and the reason, right? So like there's different parts of the body that are being hijacked. The amygdala gets hijacked through the fear the news puts out there, removing us from the prefrontal cortex, which is, I guess, where the pineal gland is. I'm not sure, but also the resentment is why people will drink. Is they're drinking because the liver is where anger is stored, so they'll drink and that goes straight to the liver. Put the poison in the liver so it heals them. And even smoking, I like to smoke, and that could be, I'm not sure, a Freudian thing, but it could mean a lot of different things, like an oral type fixation, so it goes deep. And this is important, the psychological aspects. And I was reading about Napoleon Bonaparte and his connections to a lot of secret societies and bringing a lot of Illuminati secret society type stuff. Like he was a puppet that was put into place after the reign of terror, where we hear all of this stuff about terror. This is coming from the reign of terror, which I guess the French people, there was like a movement, the French Revolution, that had some good qualities in the beginning, but then it gets hijacked, and then they go and they hijack these different movements, and we kind of see the same.
The Jacobites hijacked that one.
Right? Exactly. But this is the interesting thing, is that when Napoleon made himself Helios, made himself Apollo, made himself the sun god, like Louis did, that he forced the churches to all pray for him. So there's a power to prayer. Absolutely. There's a power to it.
Did you watch that new Napoleon?
Yeah, I liked it. I read the book, but so I got this old book here. I'll come on the screen for a second, but I got this. Oh, I look terrible. I got this old book. We got the old book. So there's an old Napoleon Bonaparte book.
Oh, wow.
I got it for $1. And even the maps, because this is like in the 1800s, even the maps are different. In this book, I don't look great. I'm going to hide. Even the stories, the truth is stranger than fiction. Like the first chapter just goes into how Josephine was just sleeping around with everybody. I'm just like, what? It's like, what's going on here? But they showed that in the movie.
Yeah. Did you get to see it, Dad? Your audio's off, Pops.
I'm very, very careful on what I'm absorbing into my situation, because one of the things that's happening with me is I'm manifesting stuff very rapidly, and I got to be careful what I'm intaking. Like tonight, I'm going to watch Dark Matter again. I think it's the season final, which has been a very interesting show with Cindy. But I want to get back to what Brother Donut was saying about prayer and the power of prayer and the power of meditation. And there have been, our journey with the Circle of Life, TJ, that we had, and all of the stuff that we seen happening and all what was going on in the prayer circle. That's why I want to get the prayer circle up right away again. And we will be able to, actually launch that after the 4th of July. People will be able to start going in there, joining the prayer circle. We'll be able to start going full bore, because I'm going to tell you the 3D is going to be shaking like you've never seen before, folks. But the 4 and 5D, where the earth is going, and maybe higher, 8, who knows? I mean, when Adam was originally created, he was in the 8+ density. He's seeing the angels coming back and forth. They were conversing with him on planet Earth. Earth was not really meant to be 3D, holographical 3D situation. But as this thing continues to go, the people that, are in that 3D, that are vibrating in that 3-dimensional, and I tell my wife and I tell my daughter and I tell my sons that all the time. I'm telling you, I tell them, well, I'll see you guys if you don't, because I don't like any fighting in the household. It's got to be love and light and unforgivable, just unbelievable love. You know what I mean? Just you gotta love and you gotta forgive. Donut.
I got the young crazy version of that when I was
Well, one of the things I'm going to say, as one of you, as you're one of your coaches there, because everybody needs a coach, brother Donut, is what I do is when people are writing negativity in comments, they are so like they're down with the dogs, you know what I mean, with their vibration. They're going to go through every single thing that you've talked about, son, and you've talked about, Donut, where you got the pole shift, you got the planet, you got all that coming down on them, okay? All that's coming down on them. And they could keep on playing with their little freaking, a little stuff behind the keyboard and put all that negative conversation out there. That's the vibration they're putting out. That's exactly what they're going to get back in. But what I makes myself feel good, and I don't really do it, I got somebody that does it, but don't feel good about blocking and deleting them and moving to the next one and get a good feeling about that you're just destroying darkness, right? Because they are dark.
Right.
Because Christ told them, regardless of what you believe, I believe in relationship, not religion, right? I believe in relationship, not religion. I don't need an intermediator to connect to the creator. But and I love all my brothers and sisters that are in religion. I don't, as long as they're love and light and they're doing what's right and helping people and loving people and having unconditional love and unconditional forgiveness, they're vibrating in the right way and they're going to ascend with earth. If they're not doing that, they're going to ascend with hell on earth. So I would rather have heaven on earth.
Sometimes it's better not to block them. I used to block them too, Dad, but then I learned
I like blocking them.
I learned how engagement works, and your trolls will be the one that gets your engagement up the best because they are just in there.
That could be a fact, son. I never thought of it like that. I was just getting that vibrational high off of deleting them and banning them.
Yeah, I used to tell Donut that I was like, just ban them. But then there is a element of it where they definitely help your engagement, help the video get out. So they're trying to hurt you, but it's having the opposite effect on you. I don't even think they realize that either.
Well, think about this. So when the last president, not this current one, on YouTube, we had likes and we had dislikes. And you could see likes and you could see dislikes, right?
Yeah, they did away with all that.
Now, all of a sudden, with this new genius we got going on over here, the dislikes disappeared, right? Because why? Because everything they put up, there's so many dislikes and so few likes that it's ridiculous. Just like what is at the events. I don't care. Huh?
All my videos are out of 99 A+ approval rating of likes, but nobody can see it. But even if there's like trolls in the comments and it looks like it's a bad video that people don't like it, it's got so many likes, like 99% approval. But yeah, they got rid of it. And also Twitter
mine's
recently,
98 too, Donut. Mine's a 98.
Yeah. And so like Twitter, they recently removed that you can like stuff and not be shown. So you could be anonymous liking stuff, kind of like that Google did. And I just think that there's something going. There's always a political motive happening, and I don't trust Twitter at all. It's seriously like,
Well,
it's nuts.
And what about TikTok? Everybody's like, "Oh, TikTok's so free." Every time I put a video on TikTok, I get taken down. What about you, Donut?
I've been banned off TikTok. I've been banned off Vimeo. I've been banned off Facebook. I've been banned off YouTube. I've been banned off Twitter.
Can I give you two young men some advice about this? Okay. So the top, based on the current numbers, the top social media platforms that are not alternative media platforms, say like Rumble, are Facebook, Instagram, X, which is TikTok, or which is Twitter, TikTok, Snapchat, LinkedIn, and YouTube. Okay. So what I teach people on the mastermind, and again, there's a link in the thing, TJ's link, if you want a free membership, because I teach people what we do online to help build any business. I don't care what you're doing. It's traffic, leads, and sales. And, expand your network is your net worth. The money's in the list and the fortune's in the follow-up. So we teach all of those things on how to do that. But what I tell people and our influencers, I say, stop saying everything on these mainstream social platforms. Bring it over to your website on Rumble and build your list. Your list. Use these places to go fishing and bring people into your email list, so then you can really communicate them, get them to your blog where you have your Rumble video where they really don't care, or your BitChute video or they really don't care, or we have our own private hosting where we don't care about the truth, right? Because what they want to do is hide the truth.
Well, Russell Brand, I was watching him the other day, and he probably is 100% an agent. I actually wrote a blog about him, but the one thing I will say about him, I guess he converted to Christianity now, but he's got a dope way of doing it. He'll do the first 15 minutes on YouTube, and then he'll be like, okay, for after the first 15 minutes of this video, there's a link in the description, go to Rumble. And he built millions of followers on Rumble through
quickly he did that. And I would recommend that everybody does that, because you don't know. I was talking to a gentleman that I showed you to, about, TJ. I've been talking to this gentleman, and we're going to get into the secret government, and also our cosmic origin. He's going to be coming on the show multiple times and discussing these things. But I was talking to him about his reliance on YouTube. It's way out of control. If you put on YouTube, it'll go automatically to your Rumble. You can set it up there. But the way Brand's doing it, like you said, son, that's the way to do it. That's the way to do it, so that you're not getting taken down, because TikTok and Instagram and X and Facebook and Snapchat and LinkedIn and YouTube, they are controlling free speech. They are controlling it. They are monitoring it. I have posts on Facebook, and we have over 200-some thousand followers and 200-some thousand likes. They like the page to follow it. And I'll do an image, and it gets a third engagement. Like, the average engagement is like less than 2%. Okay. And it's getting like a third, and they let 500 people see it. I mean, how I make more people see it organically? I got to pay them to boost it in an ad, and then they'll let more organic people see it. They'll show it to other people. When I do an ad, for example, I want to do a boost. I won't boost it to my own followers on MPN's followers. I'll boost it to people that like patriotism, and vets, and ex-military, all that, people that love patriotism. And then what happens is that then the organic increases, but they restrict your reach, and they do it to you too, son. I mean, you get some things that go viral, and I know they're doing it to you too, Donut, right? I mean, they definitely scale people back. The more dangerous you are with your message that you're doing compliantly on their platform, the more they scale you back. Okay, with distribution.
Oh
the
yeah,
more
my
to scale you are.
distribution. I got a letter message and I captured it, but it says they're not going to share my stuff out. So I went from 100,000 views per video down to 20 like people seeing it. And so it's just like you can see it, but I also got the document showing it. It's wild. But on the topic of all these influencers, like Russell Brand, he is from Hollywood, and he's took it. It's the whole red pill movement. Like you look into all these people that aren't really our audience, I would say, but this new class of truthers who were not talking at all during the most important time to speak out,
Right.
they took over, and they're all worked for the television, the music industry, and they're all leading people into different religions and these religious institutions. And there's a difference between institutions and people.
Right.
And so they're leading everybody into these power structures that are operated by secret societies, and they're absolutely part of it. This is a big agenda being played out. And like Henry Kissinger, for example, wrote his master thesis on Spangler. And Spangler knew that the West bargain with the devil, the Faustian bargain, would leave everyone with disenchantment, and they would turn into a Dostoevsky Christianity. But we're on such a next level that they're offering every red pill channel, from Andrew Tate to Candace Owens to Russell Brand to Ben Shapiro. Doesn't matter who it is. They're going to lead you into this religious system, which I'm totally for. I'm not against religion. I am very pro God and all that.
But God isn't religion, Brother Donut, just so you know. God never came down and installed religion. Religion goes back to people that started that particular religion or edited it, like what Constantine did, Emperor Constantine. And you follow the bloodlines back. It goes to Nimrod, then it goes to Nebuchadnezzar, Babylon. I mean, it goes to reptilians. I mean, I don't think the devil, Lucifer, has our best interest in mind when he's involved in a lot of creation of many religions. I'm not saying there isn't truth in the scriptures, but there's so much. Like, you can see that book right there in the back. That is the Gnostic Bible. It's about 900 freaking pages, in it's huge. I'm almost halfway through it. I read and I want to read this, son, on one of our shows. I read the secret book of John the Revelator, John that got the revelations through Christ, okay? Christ, the third entity, the Father, then the Mother, and then the Mother and the Father, the Christ, right? When this was all created. And you would not believe the information by the way, they killed all the Gnostics. They killed all the Essenes. They wiped out everybody that could give people the scripture that was very important for us. Like, where's all the books of Enoch? All the books of Enoch were the manuals. And I hear these books. I know people, we have access to about 3 of them, but I know people that have gotten access to more, dozens of them. And these things are this thick. And so where's that information at? They don't want us to have any information. They killed the Gnostics. They killed the freaking Essenes. Christ, Mother Mary was like at a high level mastery of the Essenes. So was Joseph. And so, they don't want us to have this information. But the good news is all this information is within inside us. As we keep on ascending and our vibration keeps on getting higher, more of this information is going to come to us clearly. And we're all going to see it for ourselves, all of us.
Yeah, I did a breakdown on these archons, Dad, and like, there's certain days of the week that they think is named at, like, okay, for example, Wednesday is named after Odin, but it goes back way further than that. Goes back to these reptilians, And I wanted to break it down for people like Yaldabaoth. He's the demiurge, the chief archon. He's known as he's depicted as the ruler of the material world.
Yeah, and I see you have the Gnostic. You're getting some information from it. You can see why they don't want that anybody to read it. Because they don't want people to know the truth.
Well, the Library of Alexandria was ran by the Gnostics. That was burnt down.
There you go.
So, yeah. And then you got the moon god, this moon god, Lao, like Leo, which you know who that really is. That's the son, I believe, of Enlil. His name is Sin, a moon deity, which merged into Allah. So all these different gods, like Yaldabaoth, right? He merged into Yahweh. And there's these different versions of them that have been worshipped in many different religion or
right on the dark side, but then also on the light side, the dark brotherhood and the light brotherhood, it's been going on raging forever. And the good thing about it is, I'll show this right now. You want to put me up there, son? You're going to have this guy on Truth Mafia, and we're going to go over this information, and it correlates with what you're showing right there. And a lot of the stuff that you've been talking about is in correlation with what Ishmael is talking about, but also in correlation with lots of what downloads I've been getting from the Creator, and also lots of scripture in all types of religions. Again, the devil is, he'll come as the beacon of light, right? He's going to do what he needs to do, and there's also going to be truth in there, but edited, and also lots left out. Lots of stuff left out. So much stuff that it's ridiculous for people to think that all the scripture of the world from the beginning till now is this thick. I mean, that doesn't even
the only archon that I think is a good one maybe is this dude. His name is Sabbath. He has the head of a snake, but Sabbath is linked to the sun, and he was the rebellious archon that went up against Yaldabaoth. So when you read about the stories, this is connected to the 7 planets. Yaldabaoth is Saturn. Then you have Jupiter, Mars, Sun, Venus, Mercury, Moon. And Yaldabaoth placed himself on the throne in the 7th heaven. He was created by a female, but she created him without her male counterpart.
Of course, you have to have the father and the mother created the Christ. The Christ spoke everything, right? The way that the universe is the main one, and then the sub ones, and then the sub ones and sub ones, and the planets and the galaxies. That is very, very laid out, very strategically. I mean, the Creator laid it out, and you're right. That entity was created by a female only. I think it was Sophia.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken. And that's where Lucifer came from. It's interesting how we're all taught this certain information, but then when you dig into, like, where was Christ, for all the years that isn't recorded, where was he at? What was he doing? And all of that information.
Well, if you read the book, that book you're reading, Dad, if you read that whole book yet, it don't talk about Jesus Christ in the same aspect that he's looked at as today. He was more of like an ascended master that knew this knowledge, that was killed for teaching this knowledge.
Well, he also put himself to create the golden body, so that the golden body was meaning the matter and spiritual body, the angelic body, the eternal body was put together. He did that too, that he gave that example. So yeah, there's a lot of BS and a lot of misleading stuff. I try not to focus on all of it because it can overwhelm you. But at the end of the day, if you're building your own relationship, you're going to get the downloads, just like I was led. I mean, I seen that book on over here on Richard's shelf, and I've read a lot of different books from Hinduism and all of that. And I've just been reading and reading and reading for decades. And I was led to that book because I'm always telling the Creator, bring me the right information. Bring me the right information. Download it to me, bring it to me, and then your discernment, you can discern. But no one knows 100%. You know what I mean? Because until we open up all of our DNA and we actually open up all the records of eternal records within ourselves, because we're in God and he's in us, everything's in God. Everything's in the Father Creator. Everything. Nothing exists outside of the Father Creator, and the Father Creator exists in all his children, all his light children. He exists. So, you thought Lucifer, right, son, was created by God. Well, now you find out Lucifer was created by this one Sophia, because she didn't do it with her partner, and that's why it came out like I don't want to say came out as a problem. You know what I mean? It didn't come out holy and like the angel, like Archangel Michael and Gabrielle and Christ and
Well, I guess you could say Yaldabaoth is kind of a representation of Lucifer, and he has the head of a lion, the body of a serpent, but he's really a different entity than Lucifer. In the Gnostic beliefs, they looked at Lucifer differently than how we do in Christianity. But yeah, I definitely believe there is some truth in it, and they probably infiltrated it and put some lies in there too, but
that's the problem. Until we open up all of the records within ourselves, whatever information we're discerning, inputting, we can't think that it's 100%. We cannot think that. And, as we increase our vibration, more and more discernment will come to us, and we'll start really deciphering this even more and more. But the thing is, if you weren't researching it, right, then you wouldn't even know what you know. If Donut wasn't researching and you weren't researching and I weren't researching, and some of these brothers and sisters that are on here with us weren't researching, then we wouldn't know more than we would know without researching, right? But we still don't know. No one can say, what I'm saying is 100% right. End all be all. I just don't think that is it possible for, where most people are. Maybe some that have been on this planet, like Christ, like Buddha, like, Babaji and others, because they are, part of the special operation team of the Creator. But I think that, the more we increase our vibration, the more our frequency, the more we're going to be able to discern better. And it's going to be one heck of a ride. I mean, you think things are crazy now in this 3D world, just watch what's going to happen. The shape is going to get way more intense. It's going to be, you're going to see in that 3D world, Earth that gets destroyed, you're going to see, Yellowstone popping off, tsunamis, the planet, all those things that I've seen a lot of videos on Truth Mafia from a lot of the truthers that are talking about it. All of that horrific situation will be going on for some people, unfortunately.
When you were showing the IAO, the different names, like we're connected to planets, and we could see how that's in our language today, and language is a vibration. So we could see how ancient things are, but we use it today. So the moon is named after the IAO, the AO. Yeah. And it's very Gnostic. Like when you look at Yaldabaoth underneath, it says IAW, but then it turned to IAO. And we see this in our language. Hip hop is IO. Tic-tac-toe is IAO. Everything goes in this order. Which I thought was interesting when I was researching the magic of vowels, that there's like it's nuts.
Yeah.
It's pretty interesting. And I before I forget, Rhonda said, did we see the series called The Boys? And it's about this government vault that they created, like these they created this medicine that ended up giving people superpowers. And in the newest season of it, I believe it's season 4, there's this, she's like a truth seeker superhero, and her name's Firecracker. And they're pretty much like making fun of all of us in it. like the conspiracy minded, truth seekers. They're straight clowning us in this new series. And it's kind of funny. Have you ever seen that series, Donut? It's called The Boys from Amazon Prime.
I've heard of it. I haven't watched it, and I think it's like an updated of another show as well. But no, I haven't. But I know what it is, but I haven't watched it. Like Papa Truthful was talking about, I've really been trying to get rid of the crowd consciousness of social media out of my head. And so I've been really enjoying Substack, your website, the Truth Mafia website, because I could read and I don't need to engage with commentary as much, and been reading books because I'm trying to protect myself since this last 2 weeks of, just eating healthy. Well, is hard. Just changing myself is a hard thing. But now that I've been eating healthy for 2 weeks, I'm like, okay, now I'm going to step back from a lot of the influences of, there's like podcaster influences, and kind of just, that's why I like the reading. I'm really enjoying the Substacks because it's just like reading. I might even make my own, but not till probably next year, but or Truth Mafia, because like there's a whole dialogue on there. I can read the decode and then pick what I want to hear. And also with music, I've been listening to Beethoven. He was trained by an Illuminati member, but his Ode to Joy, and I learned this from Cynthia Chung, where I get to podcast with her tomorrow. And the Ode to Joy is from, I believe, Schiller's Ode to Freedom. And everything has been kind of corrupted, where the good and the beautiful has been perverted in a sense where it's bad. So you like Clockwork Orange and Hannibal Lecter, and even Michael Moore's films, right? The great propagandist, not great as I like him, but great as he's very effective. Edward Bernays propagandist against America. Not that I like that at all. I'm just saying that guy's talented at what he does. He mixes in like the beautiful like music of life and mixes it with the violence, and just like Clockwork Orange. And so they're corrupting all this beautiful stuff and mixing it in with like, oh, that's bad to listen to. And I learned that from one of the Cynthia's podcasts. And so I've been protecting myself from a lot of stuff, because I grew up listening to all the debauchery music growing up, in the 90s. That right. So I trying to be careful. I've been listening to just more positive vibes, and we'll see how long that lasts. I think
garbage in, garbage out.
Yeah, but I think there's a time for it, though. There's a time for.
Well, you can wake up and be aware, but don't be indoctrinated, right? There's a difference between awareness and indoctrination, getting indoctrinated. Sure. So you got to be careful between awareness and being aware of what's going on versus being indoctrinated with what's going on. And that's where the problem comes in, because all of us are held accountable for lowering people's vibration. So meaning, if we're doing this podcast, this newscast, or whatever, we're, the Truth Mafia News or podcast or whatever my son decides he wants to call it, and we're taking people's vibrations down, we're literally going to eat that. That's getting put on against us personally. Okay, just so everybody knows, if you are someone getting everyone's vibration down, you will be held accountable for that. That will hamper your own, ascension, your own increase in vibration 100%. There is no if, there is no and there's no but about it. Okay. It's 100%. You got to be really careful. The Boys, you were talking about The Boys, TJ, right?
Yeah.
So I watched it for the first year, season first and second, and then not all the second because it was just too grotesque. It was like really
I love
bad.
it.
I know you do. I know you do. I know how you got raised where your dad was watching all these crazy movies too. But you know what Donut's saying is so true. Even though you might like it, you got to be careful with it. Even like as I'm going on this journey, because I'm on my journey, we're all on our journey, right? I'm starting to feel that way about specific shows. And I don't watch a lot of TV. I'm not a TV watcher. But at the end of the night, Cindy and I usually have a show. Like tonight, it's the Dark Matter show, right? But usually, I don't watch TV. If I can watch TV, I don't ever watch TV by
Wait a
myself.
second. Dark Matter. I thought that was the last episode last week, Dad.
Was it? Then I
Episode
guess Cindy thinks we're going to have an episode tonight and it's over.
Yeah,
So,
I think because do they only do 8 episodes now? It's not like back in the day. Remember, they would have like 15 episodes.
yeah, 30 episodes.
Yeah. It's not like that no more. And there's also a connection to 528 hertz to the pineal gland. And a lot of these ancient societies, like if you look into the Tartarian Empire, they were using this free energy technology. And a lot of the antennas on their buildings were kind of in the shape of the pine cone, right?
Yeah.
Or that fractal energy that they were using. And we see it all throughout society. I mean, almost every freaking society you find this pine cone in. Now, in the beginning of this, I showed you guys how the pineal gland open equals 64, matching first player character, and how pineal gland sleep is 63, matching non-player character. Well, then you have it's called the Eye of Horus, right? That's what it is. And the Eye of Horus equals 49. And when you spell 49 out, you get 38, matching first player. So it all goes back to being a first player character, whether you're an awakened avatar or asleep avatar. Are they controlling you? Or are you in control of your own life? And I tell people this all the time when I do my decodes to find out your role, whether you're a first player character or one of these non-player characters. If you're interested in getting that decode, the link is in the description. It says Gematria decode, but you'll see whether you're connected to the number 64 or the number 63. There's many different ways you can connect to. Like you can have a connection to the number 38 and still be a first player character. But it's all within our code because we are in some type of a simulation. And the frequencies play a major effect. So they're using certain frequencies in the music. They're using certain frequencies in the movies, which is we're not even realizing that it's having an effect on us and our subconscious and go ahead, Dad.
It's 440 hertz. And what's interesting is that back in the day, we used to play everything in 432 hertz or 444. I'm sorry, 444 hertz. Now, 432 hertz is wonderful for you. 528 is wonderful for you. You need to go over to healingfrequencymusic.com and you need to play that. If there's any video that isn't working, you just put in we'll put a contact form so you can contact us because it's on Facebook. The Healing Frequency Music is on Facebook. We have a Facebook page. We put up all the videos up there, all of them for free for people just to listen. And you listen to this music. I had a gentleman that is listening to this music. He listened to it for 2 weeks and saw transformation happening rapidly for him. This music was made by somebody that definitely is connected to the creator with the music capabilities. But 444 is what all the instruments used to be tuned up for. Like King David, all his instruments that they played music 24/7, they were all tuned to 444. It used to be that way. Then the Rockefeller Foundation with the Department of Defense and the study that they did, I think it was the Department of Defense, they found out that 440 hertz would make people afraid, fearful, anxious, all of that. So when you're watching TV, it's pumping out 440 hertz.
Yeah,
Most of this, they're pumping out 440 because they can keep you in fear. I mean, 86%, I think, of all, it's in the 80s, but I think it's 86% of all hospital emergency room visits are from anxiety.
and pops back in the day during the Tartarian Empire and stuff, these big churches, they had like these healing bells in them where they were healing people with sound frequencies.
100%, 100%. You play 528, you play that 528 music, yeah, it starts repairing DNA and cell, all kinds of stuff happens. And I was telling you that this guy that I showed that to, where he was just having a hard time. You know what I mean? He was just having a hard time. And I told him about the breathing, showed him the breathing, and I told him about the frequency, just those two things. And within 2 weeks, it turned him around, his whole thinking and everything. So that stuff works. I mean, it works. There's no ifs and buts about it. And they're bombarding us with frequencies. You know that one of your sponsors is the Bodyline EMF stuff, TJ. And that eliminate, even though it's a very thin holographic disc, except for the band, the band itself has Suge Knight in the band and has over 300 frequencies. The disc, even the little, looks like a sticker. Okay, you'd be, oh, this is it, but no, I'm telling you, I have just had to get another one because I got a new phone and I don't have it on there, and I can feel the difference. Luckily, I'm protected with the band, but yeah, they control us with frequencies. They're bombarding us with frequencies.
We got to get you on iPhones, Pops. We got to get you away from them damn Androids, bro.
Yeah, well, 5G, all of them are bad. All of them.
Yeah.
And 5G is not good because before 5G, you had EMF radiation and EMF radiation sickness. You can look it up on Google. There's thousands of studies on this. And then they did, somebody got their band. Yeah, she got her band. Absolutely. And I wear this band every day. And then I take it off 2 hours before I want to go to sleep. And then when I wake up in the morning, I put it back on. But
I got to send her some stuff too. She's a good person.
Well, we're building go ahead.
The anxiety, having the 93% or something like that.
86%. They're saying you're around the 87%. Yeah,
that is wild because I mean that's what happened to me 2 weeks ago. I had a ton of this happens to me in my sobriety. Like it's happened to me one time before. And then it's happened 3 times in the last 9 years. And I was just like overwhelmed. And I was like, what's going on? And I did what you were saying. I started breathing 5 seconds in and 5 seconds out the mouth, breathing through the nose. Yep. And that calming breathing really has been nothing but great.
Can I ask you to do something else? And am I allowed to share the Facebook page in the comments, or
no? If we share anything in the comments, they'll hit us for spam.
Unbelievable.
I know.
Can somebody go find healing frequency music? It's exactly how. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put just
one of my moderators will do it if you just tell them what.
Yeah, if you guys can do that. Because then, Donut, I would ask you, for you, brother, you know what I mean? So just put facebook.com and then put this after it. I'm putting it up right now. It'll come up under Tommy Truthful. If you put facebook.com and then you put the healing frequency, so facebook.com and then that / healing frequency music, it will come up. And I would say, Donut, please, listen to 528, listen to 444, listen to 432. And then when we get back together, brother, tell me what you're feeling, because what you're saying, they're trying to take you out.
For sure.
Okay. They're trying to take you out. All right.
The sound healing resonance meditations that they just locally do in like recovery. Sometimes somebody that's getting sober was like, I got these bowls and like you just like meditate and you can feel like a change from the resonance of sounds. Yep.
You that healing frequency on YouTube and or on Facebook, everybody share that. Facebook has nothing, they don't care about that stuff. They don't, but it works. And that, though, I've listened to this healing music for a long time, and that series that we had developed for the Circle of Life was most powerful. I was so upset when they killed the YouTube channel, when Dave Paul and the Llama did that. I was very upset because of the people, because of the comments of the people, that music was changing their life, and how dare they do that, when they shouldn't have done that. TJ, we had a bunch of the videos up on Tommy Truthful at first, and they killed all those too.
Yeah.
And the place that I have them, I have all the raw files, so I have them and I have the rights to them. Okay, I have the email to the rights to them, and we'll be putting them, but all of them will live on Healing Frequency Music, and I am going to put them all up on my video hosting platform, but they'll be on Facebook. Share that with everybody. Let them.
And dude, I got this chick, Dad. She's way better than them anyways. I'll plug you with her. She makes all that kind of healing frequency music out of her own instruments, and she's amazing at it. So I'll plug you with her.
Well, I would love to build it. I think I'm going to build another YouTube channel out with the Facebook channel, Healing Frequency Music. We own that domain. And, bring other artists on that have the healing music, and make it a place for people to listen to healing music for free. There's nothing there. If you see one of the sponsors and you want to do something there to support the channel, that's up to you. But the music is free to everybody, free to share to anybody. And it will make a big difference for you. And again, this stuff is really powerful. I mean, there's some of it that I listen to all. I got to find it. I've also got the gold and silver frequency. Do you know that gold and silver have a frequency? I'm sure everybody knows that. Right. And I'm going to put that into where people can get access to it. I'm going to find it, and then I'm going to put it where people can get access to it, because it's so powerful to attract that to you. The creator's money. If you don't think that we're going to go through a financial shift, you got to have assets, right? You got to have cash at home. You got to have assets. You got to have food supply and everything. They used to always do that. When I was growing up, my grandpa and grandma Thompson, they were canning. They had some supply. You remember who I think Grandpa Thompson was, TJ? And they always had, the supplies and all that stuff. We just stopped doing it, just like we stopped growing, food and fruits and vegetables in a local way. We just stopped doing all of that stuff. But this frequency music will help you tremendously. And you need to pass it to everybody who's feeling like Brother Donut was feeling, that they got anxiety. Because what the devil's trying to do, what Satan's trying to do, Lucifer, is take Donut out. He doesn't want Donut telling people all this stuff. He wants him dead.
Or keep him in fear to where he thinks he's Yeah, I mean, they hit us with a lot of fear. When you start looking into like targeted individuals, and they're spending billions of dollars to target people that get way less followers than me and Donut. So yeah, it is a scary thing, because you don't know if you are being targeted or what the hell.
Well, I would say that you can anticipate that you are. Okay. I mean, I think you could say, I am. You know what I mean? Because if you're a son or daughter of the light, they definitely don't want you to step into your power. They do not want you to step into your power. That's the creator within you and all around you. They do not want you to do that. That's what they're trying to suppress. They don't want us to step into our power. They cannot control that. They cannot control us. When you step into your power, they just can't control you. They cannot. I don't fear death. So what are they going to do? Put me to death? I'm a spirit. I'm an eternal being. I've been around a long time. I mean, what are they going to do to me? They can't do anything to me. Okay. So it's really, really important that we all get our frequency going, that we step into our power, and we become the people that we were brought here to be. And you can't be that if you're anxious and depressed and battling on the internet with negative comments and looking at and putting negativity into your mind and putting it back out, because now that's your vibration. I mean, that's your vibration. If you're, you know, you got to weed your garden. If there's negative people around you, say, hey, look, you know, love to you. I love you, but I can't be around you, man. Your negative energy is hitting my field, and you're lowering my vibration, brother or sister. Sorry. Hey, go to healingmusicandfrequency.com. Go to the Facebook channel, listen to this, and once I feel that your energy is good, then me and you can hang. But if you can't get your energy right, I'll see you when I see you. And that means basically the bottom line is when you're going into heaven on earth and they're going to the end of 3D earth, hell on earth, right? Where the planet is destroyed in a lot of ways that Donut and TJ have both talked about. That's their problem. They can go over to their 3D world, the new one, and go through the whole freaking process. Maybe they'll start out as a tick, you know? And if they were really bad, they might be a tick on a certain part of a dog or a cat where they don't want to be a tick on that certain part, you know, because every day they'll get, you know, some nice treatment on them. But at the end of the day, they'll start over again. And until you learn unconditional love and unconditional forgiveness, and you don't live in the past and you live in the now, right this minute, okay, it's not going to be good. And I think a lot of you are that way. I think a lot of you are good, you know, heading to the light. I believe that. And, you know, son, I'm here to help. Is whatever these God's given me gifts, I'm here to share them with the brothers and sisters to help them in any way that I can.
Amen to that, brother. So, well, we've done quite a long time today. So, what are we at? 1 hour and 16 minutes. Is there any questions in the comments before we end this one today? And
I'd love to take some questions if people had questions that we could, you know, for you or Donut, you know, just put who you have questions for and don't be shy. You know, let's give them 15 minutes or 5 minutes to see if there's any questions, son. And then if not, you can close her up.
yeah, and I seen somebody mention tuning forks. They do work amazingly, and pretty soon we'll be having this shop going up on truthmafia.com where we'll be able to have a lot of them products, because I know the person that mentioned that in the comments, they probably seen them over on Carmine's site. He has ones tuned at 128, but me and Dad are actually working on getting a store together on Truth Mafia, and we should have that done here pretty soon. So
yeah, it's really important to start. You know, what I tell everybody, son, is get your everything in your life, whether it's your food, your personal life, your relationship with your spouse, your kids, whatever. Create a sheet and put a line down the middle.
So what are we at? 1 hour and 16 minutes. Whoa. Is there any questions in the comments before we?
Is that you, son? Hold on. Okay.
I don't know what was happening right
Okay, yeah, you took it over. So what you do is it's called a column exercise. You know, put a sheet of paper, put a line down the middle, and write down in the different areas. Say that you know what Donut's doing now, eating healthy. What you're doing that is improving that, what you're doing that is actually serving you, and what you're doing that's not serving you. And then what you need to do is start eliminating what's not serving you and replacing it with something that serves you. Do that in every area of your life, in business, in your health, all of it. Okay. If you're not aware of it, you won't change it, right? You got to be aware of it and then say, okay, well, this is serving me here and this is not serving me. So the right is serving me, the left is not serving me, and then clean that up. Somebody talked about deworming. It is critical to deworm yourself. This product that TJ, show on your leg again, helps remove that. Show that one more time. That product right there up in the corner of that bottle of spray that we have in the link down there, that helps get rid of all that stuff. Everything that is not supposed to be in your biological body, this helps bring your body into a state to eliminate it itself. Remember, we were built to live for eternity. And our body, when it's in the proper energy situation, can eliminate any problems,
Well,
period.
we were definitely built to live, 1,000 years, because there was people back in the ancient times that were living 800, 900, 1,000 years, and they have done. I mean, we are such just a speck of what we truly are, through them dumbing us down, lowering our vibration, calcifying our pineal gland. I mean, and they do it every day. They're hitting us on so many different frequencies through the music, through the TV. That's why it's important to help educate people on this type of stuff, and make sure you're checking your water, guys, because this fluoride is in almost all the water. So,
Okay, we're getting some questions too, son. Now,
and Donut, who's your show with tomorrow? Your mic's
That's
on.
with Cynthia Chung, Matt Ehret, Canadian Patriots wife.
I like that.
Yeah, she's just a great writer. I'm like her husband. I'm a big fan of. He's who woke me up to a lot of the Clinton and Rockefeller connections to all the alien stuff that we're hearing about.
Oh yeah.
That I sent you that article, and not saying like that there's not strange anomalies or phenomenons happening, because I've seen some strange stuff, and I'm sure everybody has.
Right. We talked about it last night.
Yeah. But just looking into like you were showing the 7 different stars in that Gnostic thing they were showing.
Yes.
And isn't it interesting that what's trending in the mainstream is the 7 stars that they're saying are these like alien planets, but they're designed exactly like Ezekiel will. I mean, so it's there's definitely something going on.
No, it's getting and I want to answer these questions before we do shut down tonight, son.
Okay, go ahead.
Because there's a lot of people there, but I want to let you know there was a temporary like filter of the energies hitting the planet that kind of was removed around the beginning of June. Remember when we talked about we were feeling it more and everything was happening? Well, the energy is being allowed to smack us into a big, big way. Let me get into these questions because there's questions for all of us here. Let me go to this one. I am protected, but I look like fried skin like Tommy, but not one leg, losing weight, and my long hair help. Go to that link. I want my health back /Truth Mafia. Go to that link and look at that and look at the testimonials, and that can help you. Okay. I mean, also go to Healing Frequency Music, play 528, play that frequency. I mean, that's really, really important. Somebody asked about the band. That's the Body Align band. TJ has that in the description where you can click on that and get that band. It'll last you like, a year and a few months, but hey, once a year, you got to replace this thing. It's worth it. I mean, it's worth it 100%.
Also, eat pH. Well, first of all, you need to be drinking pH water. You need to be eating foods that are high vibrational, right? So you need live fruits, organic vegetables, anything live. Because we're eating a bunch of stuff that is, and plus like all this. What's it called? Preservatives. That shit can't be good for you, dude. Everything has preservatives in it. So we got to try to eat high vibrational foods. I think that'll play a major role. And then again, here's how to decalcify the pineal gland, just with some standard stuff. What I use every day is turmeric. You guys know I'm always promoting turmeric. I
hit it up too.
Dude, it's amazing.
Yeah.
This stuff too. I can't pronounce it.
I take a spray that has all that stuff in it. Most of that, what you're showing there, it tastes like horrible. You tried it before, son.
Oh yeah.
But it is amazing what it's done for me for microcirculation of pretty much everywhere. It's pretty interesting stuff.
They say stay away from the salt too, especially this salt that's refined, because it's not even pure salt. Like the refined sugar. I mean, cane sugar is not bad for you. Refined bleach
No.
sugar is.
No,
So
right. 100%. Raw sugar, cane sugar, elephants eat it. They don't ever get cancer. They're, main ingredient that is micro nano down to get into your cell. That main ingredient, when you read it on the back and you do the research on it, it's very powerful, man. I mean, it's a really powerful ingredient. That's one of God's key ingredients
it
that,
comes from cane sugar, though, is what it comes
yeah,
from.
well, yeah, that's why elephant. But you can't, if you're eating the cane sugar, it's not broken down properly
Right.
to penetrate the cell, whereas where you need it to get that results for the energy body and all of that happen. TJ, I think this is for you and Donut. Has anyone here seen an uptick in matrix glitches? I've been having all sorts of glitches.
Yeah, glitches are like when you're driving down the road and you might look over at a car next to you and the person's glitching out, or so you see a glitch going on outside that looks like something you would see on TV. And I'm telling you, the other day, I mean, I have so many videos showing the sun glitching where it starts like tweaking out like a strobe light. But I've seen birds doing it. I've seen a lot of crazy glitches.
Where things are stuck like this, like
yeah.
you're frozen in midair. Is there a glitch in the matrix? I would say yes, and I would agree with my son. Because I know, son, you want to make this about 90 minutes, right? So I want to hit.
Yeah.
There's some good questions here. What are our thoughts of them transforming the Earth, the beast system, via chemtrails? Of course, they're doing that. That's the 3D Earth that's going to go down, for sure. And that's what they're doing. I mean, they're putting all this stuff in our air, our water, our soil, everything, in order to get their agenda, so that a pineal gland's calcified. Everybody's in fear, everybody's worried, everybody's, that's what they live off of, that energy, that death, that's the thing. And they're doing that. But again, we're going to have a split, and the people that are vibrating on the solutions. And we have a solution, by the way, that TJ and I and a special guest will be bringing out. These people are in touch with people at the highest level that are doing, like, let's say, white hat stuff, okay, good stuff. And we are in a big issue with our magnetic sphere and our atmosphere.
Magnetosphere.
Magnetus, how do you pronounce the sun?
Magnetosphere.
Magnetosphere.
Yeah.
And our atmosphere is getting eaten up by electromagnetic pollution. Could be part of the AI situation, but that's just going to make it worse. By the way, you know how much more power you need to bring AI everywhere, son? And Donut, you know how much more power you need, and how much electromagnetic pollution more will be? Like it's going to be 10 to 100 times more.
Well, did you know ChatGPT just made a deal with Apple, so all the iPhones are going to be integrated with ChatGPT?
Yes, 100%. Now this, so that was this one on the chemtrails, and then here on the frequency is get the healing frequency music, start playing that music, and then start doing your meditation and your breathing, and get that going. Even if you start doing your breathing first through your nose, pumping your stomach, not expanding your lungs, pumping your stomach, holding it for a few seconds, out your mouth, keeping your eyes closed. Play that healing frequency music while you're doing it, so you're focusing on the music and you're not focusing on any other thought. Do that for a couple weeks and watch what happens.
And do random acts of kindness too, because that helps to
100%.
raise your frequency a lot.
For sure. Because that's like the action, and then you're getting out of a lot of my problem is I get in my head. So being a service gets me out of my head. So for sure. And it's an action.
Yes.
Yep.
That's so important. What you give is what you get. What you give is what you get.
I did a reading on this lady yesterday. She was very I actually called her and talked to her for like 45 minutes. She was very interesting. And she was her journey has just been crazy, what she's went through to get off drugs and stuff. And it's really amazing what she's been through. Her story, I think, could help a lot of people.
Well, sharing that story, right? She'll be able to help others. We're going to have in that community the ability for everyone to share their journey and be honest about it. All of us have went through hard times. We went through trials and tribulations, but what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. And look at your past. Don't look at
Oh, there's my
the
girl.
gaps. Look at the gains. Meaning, when you go backwards in time, don't look at the problems that you've had. Look at the times your wins. Even though you might have went through problems to get the wins, focus on the gains, not the gap. So the losses are called the gap, the wins are called the gain. And there's a book out there by one of the top business coaches in the world that wrote that, Dan Sullivan, Gap and Gain. And it's just like the who and how. The gap and game is very, very important, because look back at your life and the journey you've been on and the gains that you've made and where you're currently at. And I can't wait to get this community prayer circle up where people can share and show love. And then also they'll have, the Truth Mafia where they can, chat and post and all of that stuff. But also the prayer group will bring in the MPN people, the Sovereign Radio people, and the other people that we bring in to the platform, all of us coming together as brothers and sisters and praying for each other and declaring and decreeing for each other and just being honest and open. I tell you, when we had the Circle of Life community going, it broke my heart when that stuff happened. And I was reading testimonials coming in and what was going on. So many miracles and blessings were happening for people. We want to get that up and get that going immediately, because everybody needs it.
I mean, honestly, just being honest, look what happened. He got involved in something that lowered his vibrational frequency.
100%.
And that's what it ended up that way. So it happens.
Well, it was a journey. It was part of my journey, part of your journey too, right? Because we both had a relationship, and, it was part of our journey to get us where we're at today. I don't need him to bring these folks, all of us together, and get those same exact results.
Dana wants to know what your channel is. She would like to follow you.
Well, she can follow the My Patriots Network channel, My Patriots Network, and follow that channel. And we're going to be doing a lot. We're getting ready to announce a free membership that you'll be able to get in for free, but it will automatically sign you up for the social community. And we're going to have events like anything that Tommy's got going on, Donut, like they've got big events going on. Truth Mafia, they're going to be on the calendar. You're going to be able to see the events and be able to click the link and get to these events if they're pre-scheduled events. So we're really going to get the group together and start moving forward together with love and light, meditation, prayer, declaring, decreeing, and changing this world, moving into that 4 or 5D world. And let these people that want to, go out with the 3D world, you can pray for them, but don't whine or cry over them. Don't get yourself caught up in that, because this is the time that you need to spend on you.
Well, and another trick that me and Donut have that we talk about at the end of our day, we talk about a lot of really hard subjects. So at the end of the night, I know Donut likes to put on something that makes him laugh. So do I. I like to watch comedy at the end of the night. It's just, when you're looking at this type of stuff all day, and it can have an effect on you. So you got to make sure that you take time to laugh, because it's amazing how much laughing heals you, So
important. People have healed themselves by laughing. People have healed themselves by laughing.
Oh, it's huge. Yeah. And something I've been testing out is stopping what I'm doing, because I love working. It's my favorite thing. I'm a workaholic, and stopping at a certain time, like, it's 8 o'clock and then I'm done. And now it's hard and I'll go back, but I do my best. And it's been nice, like stopping and saying, look, I'm going to have some balance, and then I'm able to do the dishes and straighten up, because I've noticed a difference in when my place is really messy, my mind is also messy, and it's a reflection of that. Yep. So I've been straightening up, and Yeah, no, it's
Remember me and you talked about that, Donut. Like,
yes.
if you live in a dirty house, it has such an effect on your overall health. It's so crazy. And they've even done studies about it. Like, it's real. So if you keep a nice, organized area where you live, that'll have an effect on you as well, as within, so without. So there's many little things that we can do to have a higher free, to raise our vibration.
Oh yeah.
Because they got us. Sorry, didn't mean to cut you off there.
Yeah, it's cool. This has been great conversation. I'm so happy to be here with both of you.
Well, we want to have you on more, brother, and we want to bring some other guests on. We're going to continue to do that. Folks, the best place to follow what we're doing in the My Patriots Network is Facebook. We're going to start getting active in YouTube, but Facebook is what blew up first. So, that was what doing it. But, Facebook is the best place. My Patriots Network, the same as you see up here on this YouTube. We will start being active more in YouTube. I'm going to be coming out more, being the son and I have this show on Wednesdays with brothers like Donut and other guests that we're going to be bringing on. And then I'm going to be on the Sovereign Radio. I'm going to be on NPN. So you're going to get plenty of opportunity to see what we're doing and be involved in it. I want you folks to thrive through what's going on, not just barely survive. I want you to thrive. Someone else was asking about Mastermind Webinar. That link, Mastermind Webinars, is a sponsor of Truth Mafia. So that link is also in the description, and you can get a free membership there and plug into what we're doing.
And we already covered the best way to get rid of the calcified pineal gland. There's many natural ways you can do it. I recommend turmeric. And of course, the product that we have linked down below. Oh, well, what happened here? They just froze me up.
Yeah, you're going to show your leg again?
No, hold on 1 second. Something just happened. It froze me. Okay, there we go. That was weird. But that's the end of the show for today. I thank you, Pops, for coming on with us, and my brother Donut. I seen him in the comments right before the show, so I sent him a link, and he hopped in here.
Yeah, love Donut, brother Donut.
Yeah, love brother Donut.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Make sure you guys go check out his channel, Donut Factory. He's got a new Facebook. What's your @ at your new Facebook, Donut?
It's the real Donut, I believe. But if they could go to it's the real Donut or Donut. Yeah. I don't know. There's a lot of people that make fake accounts. So the best bet is just to go to my YouTube channel.
Yeah. Lady Rocks put it there. So thank you guys for all rocking out with us. And there my mouse did it again. It's doing some weird stuff. Hold on a second.
Love you, brothers and sisters. Have a wonderful rest of the week and weekend.
Yep. And
we'll see you next week.
We're out of here, guys. We love y'all. And that.